Hello and welcome to the seedy underworld of duct tape and daddy issues, which isn't really seedy. It isn't even really an underworld. It's quite mainstream, but sounds good, doesn't it? I am Dickens, your host for the podcast, and this week, co-hosting with me, I have the lovely Dave. Hello, Dave. Dave, I'm so happy he's on here. Me and Dave have known each other, what I want to say, 7 years?
Since 2016.
Yeah,
so,
bloody hell. 6 years, yeah.
6 years, 6 years?
Yeah.
6 years.
6 years, 6 years.
6 years. Bit of a Freudian slip there.
I was going to say your Freudian slip is showing there, Dave. We met at Glastonbury. We have a mutual friend in lovely Big Al, who is called that because he is big and he is Al. There's nothing too complicated there. And
simple nickname for a simple man.
He is a simple man. Right? And he knows you're recording this. And he asked me, he said, hold on, he said exactly this. Make sure you get something I can take the piss out of. So I feel that like at different times through this podcast, we should be taking the piss out of him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
it's not going to be hard, is it?
That's what she said. Oh no, did it already? That's what she said. Klaxon has gone off.
I should have got a klaxon sound on my phone.
Oh, so I'll get Phil to put one in post-production, right? Because shout out for my lovely husband Phil, who does do all of the sound effects. He does it all so it all flows smoothly, and yeah, he's great, and he does so much help and is such a patient man. So when he can just hear me giggling from upstairs, he's sort of like waits for me to come down and tell him what's just happened. So this week in my wonderful book, Duct Tape and Daddy Issues, available on Amazon by D. Dickens, if you want to read along, or even if you don't, even if you just want a good book, you should get it anyway. We have the chapter, Well, Hello, Stella. And this is the chapter about what I had to do before I could actually just get on the phone. The last thing I read from the previous chapter is training is finished. You learn how to log on, how to get onto the system, etc. And then you get an email from the office congratulating you and telling you it is now time to record your introductions.
Nice.
I had to write them out because I couldn't just say things off the cuff without
it takes some pre-planning, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but not only that, it was the only way to stop myself giggling. It was like, this is the most, I'm sat there in my bedroom in Cardiff at my mate's house thinking this is possibly the most surreal thing I've ever done. And I've done a lot of surreal things.
Yeah, sort of create a persona, a whole backstory, and try and tell it with a straight face, so people can get excited by it. Yeah.
So here we go. Well, hello, Stella. The recorded messages. These were an absolute joy to do. They are important as they are the thing that might make the difference between a caller choosing to talk to you or not. They are your advert, if you will, a calling card left in a virtual phone box. Do you remember those when you used to go around London?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, if we were uptown with my mum when we were kids, we had to use a phone box. Mobiles weren't a thing when I was young.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of, just walking down, say, Charing Cross Road, sort of like, can't use that one. Can't use that one. Can't use that one. Well, until we end up in the station anyway.
Well, my mum used to let us go in and use the phone box, and I was just wondering why so many people were interested in French polishing. I was like, there's a lot of scratched woodwork around here.
So an innuendo there, isn't there?
Innuendo. Like Mindy, 22 massage for the internet age. It feels like setting up a filthy message that you hope your dad never hears. Oh, good Lord, pray that my dad never hears. Because knowing that fucker, he'd correct my grammar.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, right. So I had to do a recording for each category: clean, dirty, dom, and granny. Granny.
How is granny different? Would you have to sort of put a bit of gravel in your voice, or talk about knitting, or?
It was a little bit of falsetto, you know, like old ladies who sing at family do's, and it's all.
Just got images of people doing a recording of say, oh, you've reached the granny line. My name's Nora. Here's me singing roll down the barrel on the old piano. My old man said, follow the van.
And don't dilly-dally on the way. Oh my God, this is like a proper London podcast this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Also, on that note, I want to know what Gorblimey trousers are, because I've never found out.
No,
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I suppose Gorblimey trousers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something bright, something wide.
Yeah.
Loud, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I also
ones that have fallen off.
And you go, Gorblimey, where's my
Gorblimey trousers?
That's it. We have solved the mystery of the Gorblimey trousers.
That's it. Heard it here first.
Oh,
copyrighted, trademarked.
Yeah. Yeah. Heading down to the patent office or something. I don't know. Right. I also had.
That's a conversation at a patent office, isn't it? I'll break the humdrum of electrical items and internet things. Just like, I want to patent Gorblimey trousers, please.
Why is your old man a dustman?
Just watching the. Did he wear a dustman's hat? Yeah, just breaking the monotony, or just watching someone's face react to that request. Trying to, yeah.
In the post office in Bristol, I'm still known as Vagina Lady for the time I sent a painting that I'd done of a giant abstract vagina, and they asked me what it was that I was sending, as they do, and I said, it's a painting. Oh, what's it of? A vagina. Oh, that's a big vagina. Me. Well, they come in all shapes and sizes. So yeah, I don't think they come that giant though, unless they're on a giant. So, right, the name. I also had to pick a name. I could have just used my own. It is easy to remember when people say, what's D short for? I'm like, because it's only got 3 letters. It's easy to remember, but when I tried to imagine strangers saying it in a sexy way, I ended up chewing on the bit of vomit that came up into my mouth. So no, I had to pick something else. Eventually, I decided on the name Stella for my sexy alter ego. It felt right. My mum, not called Stella, she's called Pat, so I don't panic. She had a friend with the same name when I was a teenager, and she was my first older woman crush. I was obsessed, like obsessed, with the nape of her neck and the way her hair fell out of her ponytail. All I wanted to do was caress it. It's strange, isn't it? Things you remember. Sounded like a good name for a sassy older woman, and I figured if I was asked when I was playing young where the name came from, I could say that I was named for my great aunt who never married, but took lots of lovers of all genders. I also had this image of Marlon Brando every time I thought about a customer shouting my name in the throes of passion, and it made me laugh. I went, Stella! I was taking this shit seriously, but not too seriously.
You've got to have a bit of fun with it.
Oh God, yeah, otherwise you
can't
go mad.
Have a laugh at work.
Right.
Why bother?
Right. I should get a cup that says you don't have to be mad to work here. Oh yeah, you do. Stella is 5'9", long legs, big ass, big tits, blonde or silver grey on the granny line, curly shoulder length hair with green eyes and a wicked smile. Hands up, She does look very much like me. Okay, pretty identical. But I figured it would be less to remember when asked. If I made up a whole new body type, I'd be like, what size did I say my boobs were? Oh, I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, I'm forgetful about most things, but basing it on yourself. Depending on what line she is on, she is either a hotel receptionist or a retired tax advisor who now works part-time in a cafe. When she is Mistress Stella on the dominatrix line, she is scary as fuck and her voice is growly. Do you want to hear the Mistress Stella voice?
Of course I do.
Get on your knees. For those of you who are listening rather than watching this podcast, Dave just pulled a face. It was very funny. Like Gravel took up smoking to sing jazz.
I mean, I'm intimidated by a fair few things, but yeah, I think so. That voice telling me to get on my knees, I don't think I'd have any time to be intimidated. I would just do it.
Yeah, it's true. This honestly, as we go through the book, you'll find out that voice got people to do a lot of strange things.
You ever tempted to do something for your own entertainment? A little bit.
Only all the time. All the time. I got one bloke.
It's a really boring night. It's like, oh, finally, dominatrix line, cool. What fucked up shit can I make them do that will make me laugh later on?
In a couple of episodes' time, we will be talking about the man I made pour vegetable oil all over himself, which backfired.
All over?
Like literally all over himself, but which backfired a bit then because I was thinking about vegetable oil and I wanted chips. And it was the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere, couldn't get them. And there was one guy who was saying some pretty racist stuff. So I made him donate to Black Lives Matter.
Excellent.
So yeah, it's all good.
Racists are so stupid, aren't they?
Oh, they really are. Just generally. She likes.
You talk about vegetable oil. It reminded me that, one time I didn't have any lube, and the only thing I could find was olive oil. I tried to use that. It smelled nice, but it doesn't really work as a lubricant.
No, you're better off with vegetable oil at that point. Olive oil's more thick. It's a bit more stodgy.
I think I'm better off going and getting some chips at that point rather than trying to carry on.
Yeah, that's true. But at least you tried. At least, So back to Stella. She likes a night out and gets a bit naughty on the Prosecco with the girls. She is quite the flirt and likes to get down and dirty on the dance floor. Also, she really likes giving blowjobs. Honestly, it's her absolute favourite thing to do. That sound you hear is my eyes rolling back into my head. Unsurprisingly, Stella is very popular, especially with men who likes blowjobs. So Stella is popular with pretty much all men.
I was going to say that's a very good thing to put in there because every bloke's just going to go straight for that, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're a sucker for a blowjob.
That's what she said.
I'm doing it by accident now.
Title of your sex tape?
It's just going to keep falling out. Title of my sequel sex tape.
Oh my God, I just laughed so hard I made myself dizzy. Stella has lived quite the life. She has had sex in public with women, with multiple partners, all at the same time. She likes anal, younger men, older men, and she knows exactly how to please them all. Stella is as old as you want her to be, or as young as 18. She is everything to all men, and she seems to know instinctively what you will like. There is a reason for this, I hope you're all sat down, as this might come as a shock. Men are not as complex as they like to think they are. Not when it comes to thinking with the little head instead of the big one.
Really? Well,
Shit.
yeah. Men are so simple.
Oh yeah.
Well, even one dimensional. If there was any less than one dimensional,
They'd be
men would
that.
be it.
Yeah.
It's yeah, shocking.
Shit, men are so bloody easy to read that it almost seems a cheek getting paid, if I'm honest. Don't think I can't feel the hashtag not all men indignous coming off from you now. Not you, Dave, because that's why we're friends. Don't think I can't hear the cries of feminazi echoing across social media. I'm not saying you don't have hopes or dreams or complex emotions. I am saying that as soon as you get a hard on, you can be anticipated. So sit down. Where was I? Ah, yes. I wrote out my recorded messages so I'd have less chance of cracking up laughing and fucking it up. And it worked, at least while I was recording them. Afterwards, I laughed so hard that I had to sit down. An hour later, I had the big boss ring me up and tell me that the messages I'd done were the best she'd heard in a long time. I mean, I'm a writer. Words are my craft, my stock in trade, but I still don't know quite how to feel about that. I mean,
you're talented. You're talented. You can take your hand to many things, especially writing. So
yeah.
What did I say? It's just going to keep coming again.
Oh my god, I'm going to Halo in a minute.
That's what she said.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
I mean,
I'm going to have to have a cigarette, otherwise it's just going to go. We're going to go silly.
Where else? Oh yeah, I mean, what I wrote was hardly high literature. It was base and obvious and really bloody cheesy, to be honest. I can only surmise that either everyone else's were god awful, or I am as yet undiscovered titillating porn genius.
I'd go for the latter, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As yet undiscovered titillating porn genius. Just, it's great, isn't it?
It should be the title of it. Everything you ever write.
Yeah.
Written by.
I am working on a sequel to Duct Tape and Daddy Issues at the moment, and I'm going to put on the front cover as undiscovered titillating porn genius. You can judge for yourself, though. Behold the clean, the hardcore, the dominatrix, and the granny. Here come the messages. The clean one. Hi, guys. And this is the voice I did it in. My name is Stella, and I'm a very adventurous and sporty young lady. I love running and going to the gym to keep my body in good shape, and I take great care over my appearance, especially at my hair. But at the weekend, I am a bit of a party animal. I love a glass or two of wine and can get very naughty when I'm out on the town with the girls. I get up to all sorts. During the day, I work as a receptionist at a hotel, and I get to speak to lots of people. God, don't she sound thick? I really love my job to bits, as I'm very chatty, and I get a real thrill out of meeting people. My friends all say I'm a very caring person. I love animals and I'm a great listener. I am really interested in people. Come chat to me now so we can get to know each other better. I promise I won't bite. Hope to speak to you soon. Take care, Stella.
Sounds like every guy I've ever copped off with the club in Bromley.
Oh my God.
I can picture it so clearly.
Oh, so she was based on a woman that I met at Reading Festival. and she was so like middle class that she had to get somebody else to look after the ponies for the weekend. And my name,
ponies and horses are such a red flag for me.
oh, right. And then she says, oh, my name's Poppy, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Flowerful, because it's like powerful, but it's a flower. I'm not even joking. I hope you don't listen to this, because I've actually just given up a real Twitter. Boom, right? So, oh yeah, Stella loves animals, is a good listener. She's a proper upstanding girl who gets paid to talk to strangers, or would if any of them ever wanted to talk to her. I feel a bit sad for Clean Stella. She is bored out of her mind, just waiting for a nice boy to call so she can talk to him about cats.
That's perfect, because every bloke thinks they're a nice man.
Oh God! And the ones who say I'm a nice guy, just stay. That's another red flag.
Oh no,
horses,
massive
ponies, and nice guys.
Oh, all of those memes that you see of sort of, nice guys getting left behind. You're not getting left behind because you're nice.
No, you're getting left behind because we're running. Basically. So here comes hardcore Stella. Hi, boys. Oh, Dave, for those who are listening rather than looking, Dave, like, straightened his t-shirt, strapped in. Hardcore Stella. Hi, boys. My name is Stella, and I am a very adventurous and totally open-minded woman. I love to keep my body in good shape, and I take great care over my appearance. You'll see that most of this is very similar to lovely Clean Stella. Take great care over my appearance, especially with my hair. But at the weekend, I cut loose and go wild. Uh-oh, here comes the change. I get very naughty when I'm out on the town with the girls, and I'm very well known for being quite the flirt when I've been drinking wine. I love getting down and dirty on the dance floor. I'm very flexible. Seriously,
as if she's going to be bent 6 ways from Sunday anyway.
Well, honestly, one of the things, if you tell a bloke, oh yeah, I used to do gymnastics, they go, oh, it's one of those things. So I thought I'd put in that she was flexible. And I have even had sex with a stranger in the pub garden. I mean, who hasn't, love? But there we go. I absolutely, apart from you, Dave, I'm sure.
What's the pub gardens for? especially in the winter.
Right. Oh, just
it's much better than a scuzzy toilet, isn't it?
Oh, well, yeah. I absolutely love sex, and my favourite position is doggy, as I love to have my hair pulled as I get cock rammed in me. The harder the better. As you can see, this is going more and more downhill. During the day, I work as a receptionist at a hotel. So as you can imagine, I speak to a lot of different people. I really do enjoy my job, as I get to see lots of hot people when they come to check in. I've even once fucked a customer in the lobby. I am filthy, aren't I? See there, like, it doesn't matter how many times I read that. It feels a little bit like Dick Emery, if you remember Dick Emery. Oh, you are awful, but I like you. Yeah. I can't get that out of my head. Speak to me now and I can tell you about it while we wank ourselves off until we come together. I promise you, I am a very dirty bitch. Well, that took a turn for the something, didn't it? She's gone from loving animals to loving cock, which is sort of an animal, I suppose. And she loves a bit of doggy. This Stella is very busy indeed. Sorry, Clean Stella, just the way it is. Brace yourself. Mistress Stella is on the way. Hello, all you worthless pussy sluts out there. My name is Stella, and I have very dirty fantasies about making naughty, submissive men my sex slaves. I love being controlling and domineering, and when I get men in the bedroom, they had better do as they are told, or they will feel my displeasure. Even I'm a little bit shocked at that, I'm not going to lie. My best friend is my hand's leather whip, and if men do not obey my every command, they will feel its bite on them. 10 of the best. I am a striking looking woman as I take care of every part of my body. You had better worship it. I mean, seriously, you had better worship it, otherwise I will get very angry and take this out on my pathetic slaves. Speak to me now. So, oh, I'm so sorry for this next line.
I'll do it. Go for it.
Speak to me now so I can pleasure my aching pussy. I am here waiting, and you had better not keep me waiting too long, or you will receive the sharp end of your mistress's tongue before I even start my punishments with you.
Excellent.
I'm not proud.
That's the best. You should be. That's brilliant. You managed to get nautical terms, 10 of the best, into an introduction. just for that, you deserve the Pulitzer Prize.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah,
That's
I went
excellent.
there. I said aching pussy. I'm not proud. Okay, don't judge me. It is what it is. That being said, what is it about the idea of a pussy aching that men find so fascinating anyway? I know the content is supposed to mean aching for their cock to fill it, but it always sounds a bit medical to me. Like what a woman is actually saying is she has some sort of prolapse. Either that or a void of some sort, as that is what I associate with the word aching, aching void. It conjures up images of gaping chasms, which, much like a prolapse, is not very sexy. Well, you and I wouldn't think it's sexy, but I'm going to tell you about Dave in a bit, not you, Dave, another Dave. Dave would
You're
find
never more than 6 foot away from a Dave, are you?
No, and
We're
everybody's
everywhere.
got like someone that they refer to as my mate Dave.
Mm.
Everyone.
Yeah, it's really annoying because every time someone says Dave, I turn around. I went round to friends for a few drinks the other night, and they're talking about another Dave. So I just turn around every time I said Dave. Oh, they're not talking about me.
No. I mean, I don't get that often because D isn't a very common name. Apart from in my master's group, and someone I'm now coaching in poetry, she's called D, and she's like one of my best mates now. But the lecturers didn't know what to call us. We were D1 and D2. So she says, well, just call me by my nickname. What's that then? R2. She's a massive Star Wars fan.
Excellent.
And she's R2D2. So everybody calls her it now.
Excellent. Did anyone at uni ever refer to you as the double Ds?
Yeah. They do. They only do it once, mind. As I feign shock and go, oh, never heard that.
So original, yeah. Get that down to the patent office.
Right. Or they go, Dickens, and you're a writer. Are you related to Charles Dickens? Yeah. Yeah, I look like him, don't I?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Though weirdly enough, Phil does have an Uncle Charles, who is actually Charles Dickens, but he's not the Charles Dickens. Yeah.
Is it sort of a bit of an antithesis? He wrote really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad stories.
I can't help
myself. Or the opposite of Victorian melodrama, just writes Victorian happy stories.
Yeah. I like
to think anyway.
To be fair, I can't help myself. Anytime he's mentioned, I go, "What's his house like? Is it bleak?" Because it doesn't matter if anyone else finds it funny, as long as I'm amusing myself. We're all good.
Because it's funny.
Yeah. So more on Dave later. We're about to redeem ourselves somewhat with Granny Stella. Hi, I'm Stella, a very sexy and older, mature lady in my 60s. This is the Granny Stella voice.
Because old people always tell you how old they are.
They do!
I'm 90, don't you know?
Oh, don't. Phil's now 95. You know, she's doing really well. That's what everybody says all the time.
I remember going to see my great nan, my great grandma, mother's side, at the home, and I didn't really know her or whatever, but if we were visiting my mum's parents, we would go and say hello, or she'd come to dinner or something. And when she was going a bit batty, we just spent half an hour listening to her ask how old everyone was. So it's like, point at me, how old are you? I say, I don't know, 8 or whatever. My sister, 2 years younger. How old are you? So my mum. And then it would go round to my grandma again. She'd say, I'm whatever. And then she'd pause for a bit and then go, how old am I? Oh, yes, that's it.
Oh, bless her.
And then it would go round again. We spent half an hour doing that.
Oh, bless her.
She was funny. She used to like a dirty joke, great grand Kath. Although old people dirty jokes, really.
But then we assume that they're born old, right? They were not.
No.
No, they were not. But we are going to dedicate this episode to great grand Kath.
Oh, that's lovely.
So yeah, well, that's who we're going to dedicate it to. So where have we got to? You know what they say, a lady never tells you her real age. Note, I am aware that this makes no sense, but go with it. I am retired but a month ago, and I got a job, and now I work in a local cafe. And when I close up in the evening, I still don't make it home early, as me and my male colleague fuck on the tables while we clean. We are at it like rabbits until I wear him out. I can keep going as long as any man. I love sex, and I'm very flirty and dirty older lady, and all I want to do is get a daily fuck. I don't care who from, as long as he has a pulse. I want to feel his cock in my cunt. Call me now and listen to Granny sliding her fingers into her huge pussy hole. Trust me, I will make you come harder within minutes.
Brilliant. I think that's even better than the dominatrix one.
Yeah, it was huge.
Although when you said about we fuck while we're cleaning, it reminded me of that Victoria Wood song, like is it Take Me Tonight or something like that, where it's like a conversation between a married couple.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what she said, like when she says, bend me over my hostess trolley or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the image that I got, and that's a brilliant song.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my favourite was always Bash Me on the Bottom with a Woman's Weekly. That's my favourite line in that.
Oh dear. After this recording, I'm gonna go and look it up on YouTube and watch it.
Damn right. I might get it in I might get Phil to link it so you can go watch it on the actual videos so people can go see what we're on about.
Yeah, that is a bit niche, I suppose.
Well.
As I said, I may only be in my 30s, but you know, I seem to have the taste of a 80-year-old.
Same. I'm in my 50s and I have the body of a 1,000-year-old. My body is a temple.
Just a little bit younger than mine.
So, my body is a temple. It's a crumbling ruin. So, that people rarely visit.
There's a golden idol in there somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. Luckily, my husband thinks I'm the best, so that's cool. Okay, so she said, I will make you come hard within minutes. Within minutes. Always appeal to the thrifty. Granny Stella didn't get what she got through wasting money. At least nothing was aching this time. As I said, I was taking this shit seriously. A few emails and a phone call from the office later, I had the go-ahead to, go ahead. Deep breath, log into the system, the phone rings, I answer, and that's the end of that chapter. What a ride that has been. Title of my sex tape. I'm just going to take a swig of drink because really dry mouth. Oh my God, these things write themselves.
They do. I didn't need to write any notes or anything like that.
No.
But the funny thing is I think out of probably all of your friends, I'm probably the most vanilla.
Yeah.
As it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like a good giggle at innuendo and stuff like that. But what surprised me is the book just not so much spoke to me or anything like that, but I enjoyed it. I expected to be reading it and blushing, and
yeah,
I expected this recording to sort of, you know, my face is getting redder and redder because I can be a bit of a, not a prude, but, you know, quite shy really when it comes to romance and sex and stuff like that.
Tell me about it. Ladies, gentlemen, guys, gals, non-binary pals. When I first met Dave, I had such a crush on him. Did I bag him? No.
No, because I had no idea.
Well,
I remember at Glastonbury. At Glastonbury, I remember you turning around to me. It's sort of like we'd been speaking for a few days, already firm friends.
Yeah.
And you said, you know, I don't think you know how good looking you are.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, and there are a lot of people in this camp because we all camp together as friends. A lot of the women in this camp will agree as well. And it's kind of, I felt. Sort of thinking back, it felt like you had organised that moment for every woman to be standing around me in a circle, and as I turn around, they're all just sort of like, yeah.
I know we had like this is going to embarrass you even more, but like when you used to get up and get dressed, you used to like come out your tent with like your jeans on and your Team Strong and what have you, and like topless and stuff, and we'd all be sat there like this. Right, and then like you go, then put your top on and a big stretch, and then you'd walk off to go and get your breakfast, and we'd all be there going, damn. And he has no idea.
I have no idea.
And that's what makes him more attractive. And we were like, he doesn't even know, does he? He doesn't know, does he? Someone should tell him. I'll tell him. All right, you tell him. He won't mind coming from you. But literally, and you could have had that week. You could have had any one of us.
Yeah,
and,
I know,
and there's you just
it
like.
Feels to me, it felt a bit rude. Sort of like, oh, I've just met you all this weekend. You know, sort of get to know someone first, and you know, maybe go for a drink or whatever. I didn't want to be that guy because I was outside of that group and was introduced by you know, Big Al. It's sort of like, I didn't want to just jump into the group and start getting my end away left, right, and centre. It felt a bit rude, perhaps, but that's
who you are, and that's why we love you. And we did.
I don't really do one night stands and stuff like that.
And honestly, I'm so glad we didn't, because we've had like proper mate cuddles since then. And I think I'm really glad, because the mate cuddles are something I like really cherish. Like after you and Al sang Son of a Preacher Man, and you went all like, oh my God, my social anxiety is just, and I was like, come on. And I like put his head on my bosom, which you can't see, but it is quite large, and stroked his beard, and he was all right then. And
it was the reason what had set me off as well is because it was one of those bandioki type things, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the band would play. It wasn't like a screen that gives you the words. You had to read them off of a tiny iPad. And other than the chorus, I didn't know. So it's sort of like, and I can't stand, right next to the person I'm singing with and whatever. But so it was all a little bit awkward anyway, but it was a lot of fun. And, Big Al's dad was there, Doug
Life.
And he absolutely, killed the dance floor with his moves. It was brilliant. But I think, was it before or after we'd sung? The lead singer went, "Oh, just want to shout out to our guitarist, whatever his name was, who's reconnecting with his estranged daughter, but he had to do Glastonbury first." And that's when I said into the microphone, I was like, "That's getting your priorities right."
That's the bit I don't have on video, because I've got the whole thing on video. I'm not going to play it, but yeah, I've got the whole thing on video.
His face, because the whole tent just roared with laughter.
Yeah.
And his face was just so, if he could have hit me, he would have.
It was fun. It was great.
But I did say sorry. I thought it was just a joke. And I thought, microphone away. I said, it's really good that you're doing it. But
yeah,
in the back of my mind, I was, well, piece of shit. If you're reconnecting with a daughter, sort of like, nice to, bring her or whatever. She was teenage or whatever, do something with her. Don't just sort of say, oh yeah, I'm going to catch up with you, but after I go and do this thing, partying for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was right, but I have a tendency to do that.
It has
blurt
been
out what I'm thinking.
Absolute joy to have you on. It's just been an absolute joy. I've laughed so hard. So for everybody listening and everybody watching, I want to thank Dave again. You've been an absolute,
very welcome.
I've loved very it. Funny. It's been so great. Ways. So I'm going to go into the end spiel now. So ways you can support the podcast is rate, review, subscribe. Those are the 3 first big things. Rate, review, subscribe. 5 stars if you like. If you think we're shit, rate us 1 star. Don't care, as long as you rate, it shows up. Also, tell your friends. Tell your friends, share it far and wide. Say this podcast is lewd, crude, and a little bit rude, and it's also funny, and it's true. This is the thing, there's nothing in this that isn't true, and you know this because I wrote this book in between calls. So that's when I was writing it, when I was in the thick of it, so that's what she said. So I have on the show notes now, I'm sort of like doing a did I say it that or did I not type thing, and this week is definitely going to be that what she said. If you feel like contributing financially to keep the lights on, help with the bills, then you can do so at patreon.com/D Dickens Poetry, but that's not needed. You don't have to do that. It's just an optional thing. The pleasure I get out of this is actually just reading it to you and having my mates on and having a laugh. So on that note, thank you for coming. That's what she said. Thanks again, Dave. And very next week we go into my first call. I'll give you a hint. He said bumhole and he was from Dorset. Take care. Say bye-bye, Dave.
Bye-bye, Dave.